So my name is Joy Schelble, and I am a health educator in the community. I work in Iron County. I live in Marengo with my son and husband, and we are within 5 miles of the proposed mine site. So this is a concern for me and my family. Understanding the scale of the project, I'm learning that our house will shake when they explode the rock to extract the taconite. That alone is of concern to me, as well as other issues that surround the mine, including the effects on water, the disregard of the tribal community and its culture. About the proposed project, more than the mine itself, you know, one thing that I value about this area is the integrity of the people. And what I'm starting to understand as this project unfolds is the common ground that people share that are both for and against the project. The things that draw us together are that we have pride that we live here off the land. We understand that it takes a lot of work and a certain kind of moxie or a certain kind of personality to be able to endure the long winters. Many people I know heat their homes with wood. I know many people who have lived here for generations. We sacrifice many conveniences to be able to stay here. You know, there's not a Target here. Every place is a drive. We really rely on our friends and neighbors to support us through the winter. So there's a lot of integrity in the people here. And as I talk to people about the mine, I understand more and more that the company is using that integrity against the people. What I see in this area is that people really want to support their families. They're willing to work really hard. There's a whole range of what people will do for employment. People aren't afraid of getting dirty or doing physical work, and so the mine is one option, but I wouldn't put it past people in this area to be willing to entertain industries such as commercial maple syruping or agriculture. In the community where I work, there is people who express that mining is in fact our heritage. That's true, and I've learned a lot about the history here, and I grew up in northern Wisconsin and understand that mining is a part of the heritage here. But within that mining heritage is also the heritage of a workers' movement and workers' rights, where people demanded fair and safe working conditions. Also in that heritage are stories, which I've heard from many elders in the area, of the difficulty of working for a company that obligated people to shop at the company store, live in the company housing. So the heritage is in fact true. It's not all great. The other thing about heritage is we have a rich and wonderful heritage of food production in this area. In my neighborhood, there are little cheese factories 3 miles apart, one in Minersville, one in Highbridge, some in Mellon, over in Mason. Many stories from elders in my neighborhood about producing specialty cheeses and whose curds were the best. There's also other agricultural endeavors here as well, and since my work revolves around addressing hunger and food insecurity in our community, I think we should entertain looking at that part of our heritage. Well, one thing that I find really inspiring is that in my neighborhood there are a lot of young people who are deciding to farm their family's land. My closest neighbor, his grandson is 5th generation on his property, and he's a 22, 23-year-old man who's deciding to make a go at agriculture in this area. So that is a part of the heritage here, that is a part of the story, and that still thrives. If we could put our energy into producing food so that all of our citizens had access to healthy, nutritious food, imagine what a community we could have. It's important that we go forward with this conversation in a proactive way, not a reactive way. So for those people and my family has definitely felt this pressure, who are struggling financially or unemployed. It's difficult to set your mind into a proactive state. But we have the most valuable resource of humanity, the most valuable resource, which is fresh water at our feet. So I think it's time that we, as a community and a region, have a meaningful conversation about resources and about our future, instead of just reacting to a sales pitch. You know, the other point I wanted to address was this idea of intention. So the people here that are talking about the positive elements of the mine, you know, their intention is to make sure that they can put food on their table. Their intention is to create a situation where their children and grandchildren would have jobs here and could stay in this area. Again, back to that original thought that there are so many things that we share. The intention of the mining company is to make money. They have no interest in a healthy, thriving community here. That, in fact, is just the sales pitch. And if we look at other communities who have entertained this exact same industry in exactly the same manner, there's unemployment, empty business, empty Main Street, polluted rivers, inedible fish, and poverty that's worse than prior to the mine. So when we look at Heritage too, I think it ties a lot with people's sense of pride. You know, that they can work off the land, that they're strong and hardworking, that we're family-oriented people, and that is not necessarily connected to this proposal. You know, again, I said I work in Iron County. I've met a lot of really incredible people there, hardworking people, people who care a lot about their families, people who are connected to the last cycle of mining in this area. However, the last cycle of mining in this area was 60 years ago. So many people in the community don't have a direct role in mining itself, just in experiencing the aftermath. What was the aftermath? It was an area that faced crazy levels of unemployment. So the boom and bust idea is something that people have experienced, and therefore they see this as a way out of the latest bust. So, you know, another thing that I'm recognizing in people in their 30s and 40s who are looking, 20s, who are looking for employment in the area, want employment because they want to put food on their table. They're not pining for mining. They don't want mining jobs, they just want jobs. So I think this idea that mining is our everything is really misrepresented. I'm fortunate enough to be able to leave the area often. I have family in other parts of the country, and what I recognize is that there is crazy development everywhere, and another part of the integrity of the people that live here is that they don't want that. They don't want this to turn into an area that we celebrate because it has an Applebee's or another Denny's or 4 more gas stations. So, you know, we like the way it is, and I'm proud to live in Wisconsin, and I'm proud to have grown up here, and I would like to see communities that are healthy, where children have a future. I think there are many people in this area who are doing really important work to acknowledge our other resources, such as our fresh water, our beautiful surroundings, the solitude, the clean air, and there's the potential to build a living around those other resources.